These are the top 10 On sneakers that you should check out in 2025. On has quietly become one of the top sneaker brands in the world, and for good reason. The Swiss brand has created not only some of the best running sneakers out there, but also some of the most comfortable. Plus, On's CloudTech midsoles look different from anything else in the market. Now, I can't lie, I've always been a Nike, Adidas, and New Balance guy, but over the last 2 or so years, I've dived headfirst into the world of On and somewhat accidentally accumulated 25 plus pairs of On sneakers. So because of that, I put together a list of my top 10 favorite pairs that are available to grab from On right now. This list is made up of performance running sneakers, everyday lifestyle sneakers, and some of the most comfortable shoes that I've ever worn. You could say some of them are cloud-like, because On Cloud sneakers are on cloud, so it's a pun. Of course, if you want to grab any of the sneakers that I talk about in today's video, I've made sure to link them all through the YouTube shopping tab on your screen. But hey, if you still want to add some Jordans to your rotation, I'm actually giving away a pair of the Nike SB Air Jordan 4 Navies, and you can enter that giveaway by grabbing 4 core badges from my last couple of videos over the last month, and the 4th one is actually linked in the top of the description below. But hey, with all that out of the way, let's dive right into it. Kicking off the list at number 10, we've got one of the best race day runners out there, the On Cloudboom Strike. Now listen, when people think of high performance running sneakers, they usually go straight to the big players like Nike, Adidas, Hoka. But On has quietly been grinding, and this year they did not miss. The Cloudboom Strike is hands down their most aggressive race-focused silhouette yet. This shoe is designed with marathon runners and serious racers in mind, and it shows. It's got a full length and full carbon speed board underneath your foot right on top of the foam. It's got this pretty wild rocker geometry and On's signature Cloudtech foam that's been retuned for responsiveness over long distances. It's incredibly light and it's fast, and it also looks really fast. I mean, look at the sculpting on the midsole. It's awesome. Now let's be real, this is not your everyday trainer. Although the cushion and the ride are incredibly soft and bouncy, it's not designed to be running every single day. I mean, the upper is super thin. The midsole, while incredibly soft, is also kind of delicate. The shoe itself is just more fragile than a daily trainer. But hey, if you're chasing a personal record at your next race, or maybe you're a fan of cutting-edge sneaker technology, the Cloudboom Strike absolutely delivers. So while this shoe might not be for everybody, it does earn a spot at number 10 by pushing boundaries and proving On isn't just for casuals and coffee shop flexers anymore. They're here to compete. Now the Cloudboom Strikes come in at $280, so they're obviously not cheap, but that price is pretty much in line with similar offerings from Nike and Adidas. And in terms of tech, yeah, also similar to Nike and Adidas. I recommend checking these out. Coming in at number 9 is the On CloudNova 2. The CloudNova 2 is all about lifestyle meets performance. On's always had that ultra clean minimalist aesthetic, but the CloudNova 2 takes it to a whole new level. You've got that signature Cloudtech midsole for comfort, a wide stance for stability, and a sleek, futuristic upper that looks just as good with joggers or with shorts. What I really like about the CloudNova 2 is that it's versatile. You can wear it to the gym, you can rock it around the city, and it's comfortable enough to be your all-day travel shoe. The upper is an engineered mesh with a sock-like fit, and the updated heel counter gives it more lockdown than the first version. And while it's not built for a marathon, it still brings performance tech under the hood. The nylon speedboard plate is toned down compared to On's racing shoes like the one we just talked about, but it's still there to give you a little pop on your stride. This shoe is one of On's do-everything pairs of sneakers. They're sleek, they're comfortable, and just techy enough to differentiate themselves from similarly priced $160 everyday sneakers with a running focus. The CloudNova 2 earns its spot at number 9 because it's one of those rare sneakers that truly blurs the line between style and substance. Whether you're rocking casually or putting in a few light miles, it just works. At number 8 is the On Cloudzone. This is On's latest everyday comfort sneaker. It's less about morning runs and more about keeping you comfortable from your morning commute to your late night grocery run. But hey, don't get it twisted. Just because the shoe is more chill doesn't mean it's more basic. The Cloudzone brings a streamlined design that feels super modern but unmistakably On. You've got that unmistakable On cloud tech, and of course that's paired with a layer of Helion Superfoam, which makes it pretty soft underfoot. In addition to that, you've got a pretty no frills upper that seems to be mostly engineered mesh with some heat pressed overlays. It's simple, it's clean, it's low key, but it still gives you that signature cloud ride underfoot. For me, what put the Cloudzone this high on the list is because of its balance. It's a sneaker that doesn't scream for attention, but still turns heads, and more importantly, it's affordable. Well, kind of affordable at $140. More affordable than some of the other shoes coming up on this list. I guess this shoe would be kind of considered one of On's entry-level sneakers, which is kind of nuts at $140, but it's not a bad price. It's not trying to change things up too much. It's not trying to reinvent the wheel. It's just trying to be a great everyday sneaker. And in 2025, with so many brands chasing hype and gimmicks, the Cloudzone feels refreshingly simple. So no matter what you're wearing the Cloudzone for, it's a great, simple everyday wear that I definitely recommend. And it's pretty comfortable underfoot, which is pretty much all you can ask for. Coming in at number 7 is the On Cloudrunner 2. Now, the original Cloudrunner was already a super solid daily trainer. It was stable, it was really comfortable, and easy to wear for beginners and more experienced runners. It was an all-around forgiving shoe. It was comfortable and it was easy to run in. But the Cloudrunner 2 takes an already good shoe and makes it even better. Of course, you've got Helium Super Foam in the midsole, which is the foam compound that makes up the midsole. It's very soft and very responsive. In addition to that, you've got your Cloud Tech, which are these holes that are punched through the midsole, which also do a really nice job of adding some nice cushion. From what I could tell, the ride on this shoe felt a little bit smoother than the original Cloudrunner, which is a good thing. Seemingly one of the bigger updates on this shoe is the upper itself. It actually has a slightly more stretchy material on the upper. I mean, similar, but it's slightly more stretchy, so it's a bit more wide footer friendly. Plus, it's now made of recycled materials, which is always a win. Even though the shoe is called the Cloudrunner, it's an incredibly versatile shoe. It's great for running, obviously, but also just day-to-day lifestyle wear, which is kind of the thing for a lot of these shoes. But this one in particular, it's not too overdone. It's not too runner focused. It's not too honestly ugly. It's a great everyday pair of shoes. It's easy to rock, and it's great for like your morning runs and then wearing to the office. Plus, it's priced at $150, so it's pretty middle of the road and it doesn't break the bank. So if you're looking for a comfortable, stable, and stylish daily trainer with legit performance chops, the Cloudrunner 2 is a no-brainer, and that's why it's number 7 on the list. Sliding in at number 6 is the On Cloud 6. Now, if you've been around the On ecosystem at all, you already know that the On Cloud line is basically the brand's way of sucking you in. And the 6th version of the shoe refines everything that people loved about the original. It's lightweight, it's very comfortable for an everyday sneaker, and it's ridiculously easy to throw on and wear anywhere for a lot of reasons. One, it looks like a shoe that you can throw on with anything, but 2, it also has a sort of bungee lacing system, which makes it a very slip-on friendly type of shoe. The Cloud 6 keeps that everyday DNA, but adds some nice upgrades. First off, the Cloud Tech midsole has been retuned to feel softer underfoot, but still snappy, but now with better impact protection. The upper is made up of a relatively breathable mesh, and the new heel area has better lockdown, which I appreciate. Some of the older versions I had some trouble with heel slipping. This one seems fine. Gotta be honest here, I don't love the look of this shoe. The Cloud line has never been my favorite, but a lot of people would disagree with me. In fact, I think this is like On's most popular sneaker, and this is a shoe that I see on most people's feet. So hey, I'm probably wrong on this one, but this one is not my favorite. But just because I don't love the way a shoe looks doesn't mean it's a bad shoe. I still think it's a great shoe overall. Actually, let me know what your opinion is on the style of this shoe in the comment section down below. I'd love to know. Like I mentioned before, you've still got the speed loops that make this a very slip-on and slip-offable kind of shoe, which I love. However, if you're one of those people that prefers a more traditional fit, they do offer regular laces too, which you can do, but you gotta try this. This is cool. Now, as I've said throughout this video and will continue to say throughout this video, is that the reason the Cloud 6 are so good is because they're so versatile. Now, unlike some of the other shoes that we talked about, this is not really a running sneaker. However, you can wear it for light runs. I would say this is a more casual shoe, but the reason I think this $150 sneaker is so versatile is because you can wear it with pretty much anything. It's got that sort of sporty vibe, but also it can be dressed up in certain situations. So for all of those reasons, the On Cloud 6 takes the number 6 spot. It's simple, it's functional, and I didn't actually put it at number 6 on purpose, but I like the way that turned out. At the number 5 spot, we've got the shoe with the most appropriately named midsole, the On Cloudmonster 2. If you've been following On for a while and you thought the first Cloudmonster was wild, the sequel takes it up a notch. This sneaker is all about max cushioning, max bounce, and straight up, I'd say fun, underfoot. The Cloudmonster 2 takes one of their most plush and high stack running sneakers and makes it even better. Let's start with the foam. On has updated the Helium Super Foam compound to be even softer and more responsive on this model. And of course, it's paired with an improved speedboard plate that gives the shoe a surprising amount of snap, or really how bulky it looks. It's kind of like you're running on a very soft trampoline, and not in a weird gimmicky way. It really does feel like that. It's kind of amazing. I would say that it's a bouncy boy. Additionally, On gave this shoe the biggest Cloud Tech ever, which if you didn't know, Cloud Tech is those holes in the midsole, which we talked about earlier. And while it's a max cushion runner, don't sleep on the style factor. It's weird. It is a weird looking shoe, and if you're into that, you're gonna love it. I mean, the Cloudmonster 2 has that exaggerated silhouette that looks wild and unique, and I feel like it's one of those ugly duckling shoes. Like you start to fall in love with it after a while. Now, I will keep it real though, this is a lot of shoe. If you like something more minimal and more low profile, this is probably not the way to go. But if you want a max cushioned, super high stack, cloud riding beast of a sneaker that somehow still feels light and energetic, the Cloudmonster 2 is kind of that shoe. For $180, it's not cheap, but in my opinion, it's worth the price. Whether you're training for your next race or putting in long miles or just want a sneaker that turns, the sidewalks near your house into trampolines, this one is a monster. Pun, in all the right ways. Speaking of comfort, if you're looking for the comfiest socks out there, Apothecary, my sock brand, has you covered. Apothecary makes socks that not only look great and come in a ton of different styles and colors, but they also, of course, feel incredible on your feet. Seriously, you gotta try them. They are super soft and they are very breathable, especially because of our proprietary IsoWeave technology. Of course, they fit great, so make sure to check them out through apothecary.com, linked in the description below, and use my code Seth for $5 off of your first order. Again, it is my sock brand, and again, that could all sound biased, but genuinely, they're amazing. We spent years developing them. Try Try them out, they're awesome. Coming in hot at number 4, we've got the On Cloudsurfer 2. Now look, the Cloudsurfer was already one of On's most, I guess, underrated daily sneakers, but Cloudsurfer 2, it's different, and not just because the shoe is a lot less underrated. On ditched the speedboard entirely and re-engineered this shoe from the ground up. Using their Cloudtech phase, as you can see here, it looks a little bit different than Cloudtech. It's basically a new hole pattern that collapses in a more natural way that helps push you into the next step. It's actually really cool, and surprisingly it does work, and in my opinion, Cloudtech phase does deliver one of the smoothest rides that I've ever had from On. This thing kind of feels buttery on foot. I'm running out of ways to describe a cloud-like sneaker without saying cloud-like, and buttery is the way that I went. It's super lightweight, the cushioning is soft without being mushy, and it transitions beautifully from heel to toe. Really, it feels amazing whether you're running or whether you're walking. It's just a very well cushioned shoe, and I'll be honest, it looks sleek. Compared to some of the other chunkier On models like the Cloudmonster 2, the Cloudsurfer 2 is streamlined. It's breathable, and in my opinion, it's really wearable. So whether you're doing a tempo run or hitting the treadmill or just rocking them casually, this shoe blends form and function perfectly. Another plus, at least for some people, is that it's relatively affordable at $160. It's not cheap, but compared to some of the other $160 running sneakers out there on the market from other brands, I'd say it competes very well. And it's one of the more reasonably priced sneakers in On's lineup, which makes it a great entry point into the brand if you want performance without breaking the bank. It's an excellent everyday runner, probably my favorite pair on the list for both running and casual wear. In my opinion, there's a lot of other really great shoes on the list that are really great at one thing or another. Like you can have a pair of shoes that's a great everyday lifestyle sneaker that you can run in, and then there's shoes that are excellent running shoes that sure you can wear casually, but this shoe is like right in the middle. It's like a perfect mix of both of those things. At number 3 is the On Cloudmonster Void. In a lot of ways, this is sort of the comfort first lifestyle variant of the Cloudmonster that we just talked about. But let's start things off by talking about the ride underneath in the midsole. It's still that Cloudmonster DNA, high stack helium foam, massive Cloudtech pods, and a speed board that just gives you that springy energy return. But what really sets the Void apart is the refined construction. It's sleeker, it's more well sculpted, it's designed for that everyday comfort. And the upper is where you get some of the biggest changes. On ditched the typical mesh used on the Cloudmonster for a new, more lightweight, technical inspired mesh. It's almost translucent in some colorways with very minimal branding on the lateral side. It's just the On O right there. Whereas on the Cloudmonster 2, you get Cloudmonster kind of plastered on the side of the shoe. That's not for me, but this, it's pretty clean. I mean, this shoe is literally designed to be a more lifestyle version of the Cloudmonster 2. It gives you all of that same max cushion, but it gives you the wearable look for lifestyle, which is a huge plus. It's also $10 cheaper than the Cloudmonster 2 at $170. Taking the number 2 spot, we've got the On Cloudeclipse. So the Cloudeclipse, at least from what I've tried, is On's most cushioned pair. It's crazy soft underfoot. At the core of the Eclipse is the double layered Cloudtech phase midsole, which On tuned for ultra smooth transitions and plush comfort. It's got that soft landing, that responsive push off, and a geometry that just feels like a rocker, and I love it. Now, the main difference between this shoe and something like the Cloudmonster, which we talked about was an incredibly soft running sneaker, is the fact that this puts the speed board on the bottom of the shoe rather than in between your foot and the foam. So your foot is actually resting directly on top of the foam, which means you get a much more plush underfoot feel. On the Cloudmonster, your foot's actually on top of the speed board, and then that's on top of the foam. So while you still get a lot of the foam softness, it's sort of dispersed across the speed board, whereas in this shoe, you get all of it right underneath your foot. Now, the speed board doesn't do as much in this shoe, like it doesn't spring you into the next step, but it does help with some torsional twisting, so that is a plus. Honestly, I would take the softness underfoot any day over that springiness, personally. The upper is also breathable and lightweight with some pretty premium detailing. No flashy logos, no extra noise, just a relatively clean, purposeful construction. It's also nicely padded, so especially around the ankle, you get that nice cushion that really sucks you in. I love it. The upper cushion is a perfect accent, in my opinion, to the soft midsole. I love the way it feels. And apparently, there is a Cloudeclipse coming later this year. It might not be called the Eclipse 2. I'm not sure exactly what they're going with. I saw rumors of it online. I could be completely wrong, but I would not be surprised if we see a Cloudeclipse 2 coming later in 2025. Now, getting back to the Cloudeclipse 1, which is actually available right now, it comes in at $180, which does put it at the top of the range in terms of pricing, but it truly is the softest pair of sneakers that On makes, and it's an excellent choice for runners or people just looking for that everyday maximal cushion shoe. Whether you're running or you're walking, it's one of those shoes you can throw on and it just feels amazing underfoot. Coming in at number 1, just like last year, is the On Cloudtilt. The Cloudtilt is one of On's most lifestyle forward silhouettes to date, and it absolutely crushed 2024. In fact, it was a number 1 shoe on that list as well. I mean, this is a pair that blew up because of all those Zendaya ads, and honestly, it lives up to the hype. At the heart of the Cloudtilt is, of course, Cloudtech phase. It's the same next-gen tech that we saw on the Cloudsurfer and the Cloudeclipse, but here it's tuned for all-day urban wear. This is not a running shoe. This is a lifestyle shoe, and it feels awesome underfoot. Now again, with that being said, like I said earlier, you can run in this shoe if you want, but you're probably not gonna be breaking any personal records in this shoe. That's not the point. This shoe is all about that sort of effortless comfort, airy feeling, smooth transitions, and sock absorption that makes walking, standing, and traveling, in many cases, actually really enjoyable. And then there's the design. I think the shoe is the best looking pair of On sneakers ever made. You've got this precision map knit that hugs your foot in all of the right places while still staying breathable and flexible. There's no overlays on this shoe, no unnecessary panels. I mean, the Swiss are not about that. They're about about their minimalism. And because of that, this shoe is just a very comfortable, very clean looking pair of sneakers. It's also got that slip-on style lacing system, which I mentioned earlier, which in my opinion gives you the best of both worlds. You get the look of having a laced up sneaker, but you also get the ease of use of a slip-on, which I love. Maybe it's because I'm getting older, but this is like one of my favorite things in a pair of sneakers. I know it's stupid, but seriously, try it. And as a sneakerhead, I've noticed that this pair is crossing the line into more traditional sneaker culture. I mean, sure, it's not hyped up like the latest Travis Scott collaboration, but they have dropped some collabs on this shoe, which did sell out. It's also just becoming a go-to pair of sneakers for sneakerheads. When they don't want to rock their Jordans or their latest collab shoes, they throw on a pair of Ons and they're comfy and they look good. Now, speaking personally here, I have hundreds of pairs of sneakers, and this is literally one of the 3 pairs that I keep by my door that will never drop out of my rotation. I wear it everywhere. On absolutely killed this shoe. They truly bridge everyday style, elite comfort, and their performance DNA without sacrificing any part of the equation. It's futuristic, it's functional, and it's honestly the kind of sneaker we're gonna look back on as like, wow, that was a game changer. And hey, personally, I think this is the best way to get into the On ecosystem. For 160 bucks, it's a middle of the road price, but I do think it's absolutely worth every dollar. But hey, if you made it to this point in the video, let me know in the comment section down below which one of these shoes you were into the most. As always, thank you so much for watching. Hit that subscribe button if you liked the vid, and I'll see you all in the next one.